What's up everybody, AnimeX here, and in this video I'll be doing a different type of video than I usually do, and I'll also be talking about an anime that I've never talked about on the channel before, which is Gurren Lagann. The reason I'll be doing this is because recently one of you guys have suggested Gurren Lagann to me. You should know who you are, but his YouTube name is Simon the Digger, Twitter name is that Gurren Lagann guy, and then on my Discord, he's known as King Fox something else, right? So shout out to you overall on all those platforms, bro. Thank you for putting me on the Gurren Lagann. It was fire. It was sad. I loved it. It was Bauerful too. Like, I'll be doing some Bauer scaling on Gurren Lagann because it's honestly just retarded in terms of its scaling. But this is not what that's going to be talking about. I'm just going to be kind of reviewing Gurren Lagann, not necessarily so in depth. I'm just going to be talking about what I liked from it. Maybe doing a more in-depth review on it later, more of a kind of more constructive criticisms and what it does well, what it doesn't do well, that type of stuff. But right now, I'll just be kind of like or you could almost take this as a recommendation video. Watch Gurren Lagann if you haven't, and if you aren't convinced by me just saying that, then hopefully the next parts of this video can convince you. So the first thing that I kind of want to talk about, one of the things I really enjoyed is the pacing of the series. This series actually moves really quickly. I've never felt bored when watching this series. The only time I've ever put it down is when I physically have to do work for YouTube or I need to go to school or something like that. I've been like kind of watching it nonstop, right? I love it. It's very interesting because the pacing, it goes through that of an entire story. It feels like a full story compressed down to 27 episodes, but it does it right. Like, it goes from plot point to plot point in an extremely well pace. It doesn't drag on any one thing in particular, which it can't do because the series is only 27 episodes. We literally go from Simon and Kamina, basically the protagonists of the series, go from like being underground, not knowing anything about the above world, to basically being these people that are able to fight these universal plus level people. And we see it, and it paces it, and it does it to me, it escalates the Bauer of the series along with the stakes of the series. Well, we do go from plot point to plot point very quickly. We meet new characters very quickly. Relationships are developed in the span of 1 or 2 episodes, although it does not feel forced or rushed, which is a really cool feat to be able to pull off, in my opinion. Not a lot of series that I've seen now can pull off a quick relationship that makes sense. For example, Yoko and somebody else. I won't spoil or whatever. I won't be spoiling too much stuff to the plot. That'll be more for the in-depth review. But yes, it does go from plot point to plot point extremely quickly in a way that I completely enjoy and understand. It takes a different route from the Shonen, from like the overall Shonen route, where it's like, okay, we're going to take a lot of time to get to the training arc, get through all of this stuff, right? And the reason of this is just due to the fact that they don't have to train, just due to the energy type that they have, which I'll be talking about after this. But just due to the fact that they're able to bounce between points so quickly, they're able to go from, like, the Bauer escalation's really good as well. They're able to meet new characters, form relationships, you know, that type of thing. But the next thing I want to talk about has to do with their Bauer as a whole and kind of what they do, because I really enjoy the Bauer system in this anime. So, like I said, I really enjoy the Bauer system in this anime, and it's the Bauer system is called Spiral Energy or Spiral Power if you're weak-willed, but it's actually Spiral Bauer. But anyways, the way this works is they basically equate spiral energy to the thing that makes up the universe, right? So spirals, spinning, that rotation, that type of movement is something that comprises the entire universe in their way. Just like, you know how the Milky Way galaxy is a spiral formed galaxy, right? They basically equate this to all of the universe it scales from the molecular level all the way up to the universal multiversal scale, right? And it just makes up everything. Now, the way that it is used, it's basically equated to fighting spirit when used in the hands of humans or other spider life forms. There are anti-spiral, which I won't really get into because I don't want to spoil too much, so I'll just say anti-spiral and leave it at that. But there are beings that don't use spiral energy because they find it too dangerous to the known universe, which you kind of see towards the middle to ending of Gurren Lagann. But spiral energy is just basically fighting ability, and it's just basically your fighting spirit, right? So the stronger your will, essentially, the stronger your spiral energy is going to be, right? And we see that some people have more of a capacity for spiral energy than others. Like Kamina had a high amount, and Simon, I'm just going to say Simon/Simon, just know who I'm talking about. They're both the protagonists. Simon obviously more so though. But we see that they're able to basically, the more confident, the more fighting abilities that they have at their disposal, basically the better and the stronger their spiral energy is going to be, right? For example, we see that when someone is down, right, or when someone is not very confident in their abilities, or they're worried, or they're sad, or anything that's taking away from them being basically aggressive and ready to fight, amped up, ready to go, their spiral energy drops dramatically, right? We see this with Seinen a lot. He gets down when he's distracted. This happens, but when you really buckle down and you focus on fighting and you focus on winning, you focus on surpassing your limits, right? That's when spiral energy really takes form and it really starts to just basically blossom and become even more powerful, right? For example, we see that the stronger the will, right, it just amps your abilities up dramatically. We see Seinen, who didn't have that much spiral energy in the beginning, and be like these mountain busters, and that was like really impressive, to him and as an adult getting stronger, getting like, you know, just being more confident in himself, being more like Kamina. They go to like these these big bang level feats, like kind of casually, like someone throws a big bang at someone else, right? And it's just kind of like, oh, let me just catch it. And I guess this segues into like just their philosophies and that type of stuff, since the energy and their philosophies tie in really well, which I think is kind of core to a bunch of other kind of like the power systems in a bunch of anime. If you can tie it to the philosophy to the power system, Bauer system, then I feel like you've really done something right. For example, right, we see that in the overall theme of the narrative of this anime is just basically that, okay, never give up. Your limits are only imposed on by you. You can decide how far you will go in life, right? And that type of thing. I don't want to, yeah, I will kind of leave it over on the little more of a surface level, but that's kind of the thing, right? Surpassing your limits, going beyond what you think you can do, never stopping and never giving up, right? Spiral energy kind of goes hand in hand with that, because if you have those qualities, if you have those core traits, then you're basically going to be stronger, right? So it's basically a way of making a friendship boost, you could say, or a boost where it's like plot. But no, this isn't really plot because it's just ingrained in the series. It's not really a plot hole or a plot contrivance because it's already been established that this is engraved in the series. I would just say that's extremely good writing. I don't know who the author of this is, which I probably should. I probably will link him in the description, like just mention him in the description of this video. But that is very good writing. He knew, or she knew, whatever, right? They knew that they wanted them to basically get these Bauer boosts out of nowhere, right? But instead of just making it seem kind of like retarded or anything like that, they just made it so the Bauer system fits what the themes of the actual story are, which I just find it as genius writing. Now, the next thing I'll be getting into is a little bit more surface level. It's not as deep as like the philosophy and like the Bauer system, but I will be getting into the fighting and the animations of it, right? Won't be getting into detail like who won, who lost, but I will just be talking about it for briefly. So, Gurren Lagann, in terms of fighting and animation, right, at first had me kind of off-put. I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm gonna tell you guys straight up. It had me a little off-put, right? I was like, oh, it's a mech anime. I'm not really too into mech anime. But let me just tell you this. I'm not in mech anime as a whole, right? But Gurren Lagann, the way they fight, you would think that they're all gonna be all robotic in the way they fight. No. The animations are so crisp and clean, and they just look so cool. Like everything, it's like really good. The animation is spectacular. As you would expect from a shorter series, they were able to put a lot of work into the animation. I just want to give you guys a quick warning. On episode 4, everything looked a little weird of Gurren Lagann if you guys are going to go watch it. But that's just because a different studio took over at that specific point in time. But like everything else is just like really, 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 really good. Like, oh wow, it's very spectacular. I would compare it to that of, in terms of like the art style and the way it looks. I would say it doesn't have like Demon Slayer level animation, right? I'm not even pretending it does, but it does have a similar, like it flows. It's very colorful. It looks, it's like it's sleek. It's cut. It's the way everything flows. It's very nice. It's really just fighting to the maximum. They're just fighting really powerfully. The fights are fast. The fights are, you feel the impact of every blow. It's very, yes, you feel a very responsive, almost knee-jerk reaction to everything that these characters are doing, which kind of will segue me into the characters of the story. So the characters, this is a little bit going to be weird for me because I do want to say more of my character analysis for maybe later videos, or maybe something my more in-depth, longer review, but I will just be kind of briefly talking about the characters and what makes them special to me. Kamina's interesting, right? Because at first, You kind of get the vibe that he's kind of a main character. He's going to be kind of taking over for Simon. Maybe it'll be focusing more on him. But that's not actually the case. We see that Simon's more of the main character. Simon's development in the series, to me, seems very, very fluid, and it makes sense why he's able to transform from someone more timid and someone that you would say is more scared of things. There's someone that is more powerful, more confident. There's someone that's an inspiration for everybody that he knows. You can clearly see that he gets inspiration from Kamina, right? In terms of like the way he's able to inspire people. The throwbacks that Gurren Lagann gives you, like to previous episodes, previous themes in the show, it's just amazing. It's very emotional, right? The way it's able to make me feel and make you feel as a whole when watching it is just amazing. If you value, right, how an anime makes you feel in terms of like, does it get you happy, does it get you sad, Gurren Lagann is definitely an anime that you need to watch. And it's just due to its characters. Yoko and Kamina's interactions are always funny and amazing. Simon's and Yoko's interactions are funny. When we see like Rosu and other people like interact with them, I won't be dropping too many names just because, you know, you want to figure out what's going to happen, right? But we see that the way they interact and the way that you get attached to them in a very short amount of time is just incredible, because even though you only have 27 episodes to get to know them, get to interact with them, and I guess you have 2 movies as well, you don't have that much time compared to others, and I'm still more attached to them than I would say attached to other people from different shonen, right? Like, if Simon were to die in the anime, right, I would feel a great sadness in my heart versus other people that would die in a longer running shonen. For example, say someone from Dragon Ball Z, just because, not because I don't like it, but it's just they haven't attached me as much with the thought of them dying, and also death doesn't mean nearly as much. In this, you see death, in Gurren Lagann, you see death as like, people see death as like this way, the end, but people realize no, it's not. You still have them in your hearts, you still have them in your minds, and the themes of that just really reverb throughout the entire series, and it just makes it a very enjoyable, very fun, also very sad thing to watch every once in a while, you know, when a sad moment does happen, but it's almost like I'm sad, but I'm happy at the same time, like where it's like, so someone sacrificed themselves, for example, right? And you're saying, okay, it's sad that they're gone, but now I saw how important they were to them, and it just makes me feel it makes me feel a greater connection to the characters as a whole, and it's just a really, Gurren Lagann's a masterpiece. I honestly don't know how else to put it. So the last thing that I'll be kind of talking about is probably the most kind of, it's the thing that you would see most, the thing you're probably, if you've heard of Gurren Lagann, probably interested in most, not necessarily actually, like things you've heard about is the sheer power of the characters, right? So if you're into scaling and you're into that stuff, it's also a good, like, I'm gonna start, when I start getting into like the scaling of Gurren Lagann, I promise you're gonna see me start repping some more Gurren Lagann characters, or just mainly like Tengen Toppo Gurren Lagann, right? Which is, if you don't watch it, you don't know, but that's fine. You'll see that I'll start repping them more, because these guys are kind of, they're powerful, right? I'm not gonna lie, from what I've seen, they kind of make Dragon Ball Z, I know Dragon Ball Z isn't like the pinnacle of Bauer or whatever, but it does seem pretty powerful in terms of like anime wise. Gurren Lagann kind of makes it look doo-doo. Like, Gurren Lagann, if you could scale them right, will doo-doo on Dragon Ball Z in terms of the sheer power, the sheer speed, everything about it is just like it's kind of retarded on the way they're being able to do this, right? But yes, it is they're extremely powerful. The cliffing hits hard though, right? It's funny because it makes sense through the spiral energy, but it is kind of jarring at some points when you're like, oh wow, just an episode ago, this was really crazy for them to do. And then they just kind of like surpass their limits and keep on going, which I like the themes of it, but that's where I'm going to kind of leave this review off, I think. Yeah, so like I said, this is where I'll be leaving off the Gurren Lagann kind of recommendation, you watch it video. It's amazing video, you know. Not really my most in-depth review, although I would say I did a pretty good job of kind of summing up what was most impactful about Gurren Lagann to me as a person, and what just really spoke to my soul, right? I mean, quick thing, OSTs are amazing as well, opening's amazing, but I'll leave that for the review later. I really liked it. I hope you guys really like it. It's a really enjoyable thing. Please go watch it for me. Watch Gurren Lagann as a favor from me, please. Like, I implore you, watch Gurren Lagann. You need some Gurren Lagann in your life, guys. But if you guys do want some more Gurren Lagann videos, I mean, I don't know how it's gonna perform on the channel, so let's just say 300 likes. I don't know. I may just continue doing Gurren Lagann regardless just because of how much I like it. But if you guys want to ensure that I do many more Gurren Lagann videos to come, let's just say 300 likes for it. And yeah, we'll get a Gurren Lagann, maybe a Bauer scaling video soon, or maybe a more in-depth review, character analysis, whatever you guys kind of want me to do. But this is going to be AnimeX signing off. But before I do that, if you like the video and want some more Gurren Lagann content, consider subscribing and hitting the bell so you don't miss out on more content. As always, hope you guys enjoyed the video. And as always, guys, this is AnimeX signing off.